started. Coach, if you want to make a few opening remarks, and then we'll take questions. If you have a question for Coach, please indicate it in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, after watching the film, I thought we got off to a really good start on the road. When at halftime we were up by 2 points, thought we were in a good spot, got the ball. I think we drove the field, kicked the field goal. And then, of course, in the third quarter, we faced some adversity, and we didn't handle it very well. Really, the difference in the game, if you look at it, obviously was the 3 turnovers that led to 21 points. And then the 9 penalties, 4 of those led to first downs, kept drives alive. And so we've got to do a better job of that. And, disappointed in the penalties. I always think that's coaching. That starts with me, and we've got to do a better job in that area. I did think there was some things that we improved on. I thought our offensive line made some improvement. We rushed for 200 yards for the second time in consecutive weeks. I thought we really protected pretty well on third down too. We were a little worried about that. And then I think our defensive line also improved and did some good things. And we were solid against the run. So, and we got some pressure on the quarterback from time to time too. So overall, like I said, it was a tough loss. We've got to rebound. We got to put it behind us and get ready for Ole Miss. But like I said, if you look at it from that standpoint, there's some areas you can take that we improved on. Questions?
Our first question is from Steve Moulton.
Coach, I was hoping you could evaluate specifically the offensive line. I know you mentioned penalties there and turnovers, but how would you evaluate the offensive line through 4 games, Coach?
Well, I think what you got to do is really just start with this past week. It was the first week that we had the same 5 that actually practiced together on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I thought that group had their best week. Like I said, rushing for 200 yards, and then I thought they did a solid job protecting too, and so that gives you encourages the fact that keep those guys healthy, keep them together, and they got a chance to be a good offensive line.
Is there any COVID update? I know didn't y'all have a test, I believe, today. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, we won't know until tomorrow.
Next is Justin Ferguson.
Hey guys, I think Bo had something like 45 dropbacks yesterday. You guys ran the ball about 17 or 18 times with the backs. Was that by design? And when you go back and watch the film, do you feel like y'all should have ran the ball more? Or was that kind of the game plan going in?
We were wanting to be balanced. I mean, that was the number one thing. And then, of course, a lot of those, passes were when we were behind. Once we got behind in the third quarter, trying to play catch up, there was a little top heavy. Up to that point, I thought we were pretty balanced, and really that was the plan coming in, to do that.
Next is Jay Tate.
Hey, Gus, did you have a chance to kind of talk a little bit more to Bo and Seth about just kind of what they were doing on the sideline? It seemed like they were kind of going at each other a little bit.
Yeah, of course, both of them are great competitors and got emotional, and we'll do a better job channeling that emotional energy in a positive way next time. But like I said, both of them want to win.
I mean, from a coaching perspective, you got to like the fire and the passion that you're seeing, at least on that, that end of it.
Yeah. Like I said, it's important to both of them, but we'll need to channel that energy in a positive way next time, and I'm sure we will.
Next is Jordan Hill.
Yes, we've talked a bunch about Tank, but DJ had some nice runs on Saturday. What have you seen from him, and how important is it to have a guy like DJ step up to kind of help Tank as far as with the run game?
Yeah, DJ is a guy that is getting healthier. I still don't know if he's 100%, but he's getting healthier. He's a guy that's a veteran guy that's been in the backfield in some big games, so that helps too. And then giving Tank a blow, and hopefully we'll have Shivers back full speed. This week too, to give us a little more depth also.
Next is Mark Murphy.
Yes, Gus. Did Sakevius Walker play Saturday? And if he didn't, is he hurt? And also, did anybody in particular have a good game after you graded the video?
Yeah. To answer your question, I'm not for sure. I know he made the trip, but he was a little bit banged up with that. As far as up front, Colby Wooden, I thought he's improving each game. He did a really good job taking on blocks, setting the edge, coming off, making plays, and then put some pressure on the quarterback. So, he's improving. And like I said, I think as a group, that whole group I think they took a step forward, as far as that goes. And they hadn't had a healthy group all year either. And so, I think they're getting healthier, and you'll see that group continue to improve.
Next is David Pascal.
Hey, Gus, I know Bo has a lot of athleticism when he gets out of the pocket, but I'm curious on a couple of those picks when he's headed left, is he kind of throwing across his body a little bit? And is that a concern? Can he get the full zip on the ball if he's heading left and then kind of adjusting to throw?
Yeah, up until this point, I mean, he's protected the ball extremely well. Even if you go back to last year, I think he was just trying to make a play on third down, and whether he's going to his right or his left, I mean, he's got the arm strength and all that. But we just got to do a better job moving forward, and I definitely believe that we'll do that.
Next is Jason Caldwell.
Gus, there seemed to be more trash talk back and forth yesterday than normal. What was your take on kind of that? And did you feel like that might have, gotten maybe your team out of a little bit of character yesterday, contributing to some of those penalties and things?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think that that's very uncharacteristic for us. That will be corrected. We will do a better job of that in the future. I'll promise you that.
Did you sense it going in, or was it something that kind of developed during the game?
Yeah, like I said, it's uncharacteristic, first of all, and we got to really channel our emotions better, and that will definitely happen.
Next is Josh Vitale.
Gus, this 2 games in a row where it seems like the defense has played really well in the first quarter and then kind of struggled later in the game. Can you sense anything that's changed with that defense as the game goes on, or is that just offense adjusting to what you're doing?
Yeah, no, I think we got off to a really good start. Like I said, the big thing is, the first half, I think we gave them 2 short fields, but, hey, there's good coaches on every team we play that'll make adjustments. But like I said, overall, I really felt that, our defense improved.
Steve Moulton's next.
Coach, you mentioned last week after the Arkansas game that you guys were pretty banged up. Do you feel like you're healthier today than you were a week ago today?
Yes, yeah, we definitely are. I mean, it was a pretty physical game yesterday. We had a guy or two get banged up, but we made it through fairly healthy. We just got off the practice field a little bit ago, and all the guys were, at least out there. We'll see, as it gets closer to Tuesday exactly the status of some of the guys are a little banged up, but we are healthier than we were, going into that Arkansas game, and so we need to continue that.
And if I could, if you could evaluate the run game in particular, how do you think they've performed so far this year?
Yeah, well, like I said, the last 2 weeks we've rushed for over 200 yards in elite games, which I think is really good. You see that group growing. I said the big thing for us was getting those same 5 guys. And I thought they got a good push run zone. Chad mixed in the gap game, and we had a couple of downhill gaps that were really good. And like I said, I think our guys tried to play physical and tried to play hard.
Jay Tate's next.
Yeah, Gus, Xavion Capers played a bunch of snaps yesterday. Talk to me about what led to him kind of getting an increase in snaps and just kind of what you like about him as a receiver.
Yeah, he's got a lot of athletic ability. He's going to be a really good receiver, so it was good. And then Jackson got a little banged up too, but that was great for him to get out there. He made some plays. Nothing like experience. He does a good job of snatching the ball. He keeps his feet on the ground, and he just needs more experience. But I think he's got a real chance.
Well, what led to him getting so many more snaps? Just kind of giving him a chance, or was somebody else banged up?
Yeah, I know Coach Burns had the plan of playing him some more snaps anyway, but then Jackson got a little banged up, and so that it was a combination of both of those and factors.
Bill Marshall next.
Gus, this is a very strange season, and that normally you would have a game or two in here that you would know going in that it wasn't going to be as physically demanding as usual, and now you got basically almost 2 months of games coming that could go either way. How difficult is that compared to usual?
Yeah, it's completely different, Philip. This year is completely different in a lot of ways, and being able to adjust and handle adversity. Teams that can do that are going to have an advantage. We've been talking about that for a while, and the teams that can improve. And like I said, the tough thing is we got a loss, and that's really all that really matters. We lost a game we could have won, but if you take that and you just look at the film, you see improvement on both sides of football, and so that tells you if we just clean up our stuff, and we got a chance to do that. And you're right, it's going to be a grind each week. Next week's the same way, and you just got to take it week by week. You got to turn the page and put the last week behind you, and that's our challenge this week, because obviously this one coming up is a big game. Our guys understand that. You're talking about a pretty talented team. They put Alabama all the way down to the end. They played them extremely well, and coming off a tough loss, on the road, just like we are. So, we expect to get their best, and we're going to play good football. But it's all about improving each week, and that's really our message.
Did you get a sense for how your players responded emotionally today to a very disappointing?
I mean, it's like you'd expect. I mean, that was a game that you feel like you could have won or should have won, but we didn't. And our guys fought, and like I said at the very end, or yesterday, our guys fought to the end, and didn't give up, and that was really good to see. But we got to correct ourselves. We can't beat ourselves. We got to protect the football, which we've done a good job up to this point, which is pretty uncharacteristic, of us. And of course the penalties. I mean, that's the one thing. Like I said, I've always said penalties are coaching. And of course that starts with me, and we're going to do a better job in that area. We kept too many drives alive.
Thanks.
Justin Ferguson is next.
Hey, Gus, Eli had such a really good first game, and I think yesterday he caught pretty much everything that was thrown his way. How important is it for Bo and the whole offense that he's back healthy again and contributing for y'all?
Well, Eli's equal stability, and he's a veteran guy, and he plays well without the ball, plays well with the ball. So anytime you get a veteran guy that you know exactly what you're getting, that's definitely helpful.
Jordan Hill's next.
Guys, right before halftime yesterday, you guys had a drive that looked like was going to at least end in a field goal, and it seemed like you guys had some issues and the time got away and the half ended. What sort of happened there, and how important is it just to take advantage of those opportunities to score?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I could have called a timeout there with 19 seconds left. We called a play, and then we had to get the receivers got adjusted as we went. We probably wasted about 5 or 7 seconds getting adjusted, and so you're thinking, hey, do you go ahead and call a timeout or not and just let it play? And then of course we did it, and then he had to scramble, and when he scrambled, I think 5 or 6 seconds went over, but obviously had to do over again. I'd have called a timeout with that 19 seconds.
Tom Green's next.
Gus, how concerning is it that Bo's still struggling away from Jordan Hare Stadium so far this season? And is there anything in particular that you've been able to pinpoint that he's been doing wrong other than the interceptions?
We played Georgia, and they've got an extremely talented defense, and that was a challenge. But like I said, up to this point, Bo's done a really good job protecting the football. Even going back to last year and the streak and all that. So he was trying to make a play. Obviously, we'll do better moving forward in that situation, and I'm very confident we won't make the same mistakes again.
We got 2 more. The first one's from Mark Murphy.
Yeah, how important is it going to be to take advantage of scoring opportunities against an Ole Miss team that's been putting up some pretty big offensive numbers?
Yeah, well, I think the big thing is, we're going to have a real strong focus of inside the 10-yard line. We've had a few struggles kicking too many field goals, so we'll focus on that. That's something that